Hello and welcome to the February issue of the OldTownist. The OldTownist is a free magazine about Old Town Winchester created by myself and my business partner Misty Weaver and Katie Jordan of the Dreamweaver team. We are realtors in the area and absolutely adore Winchester. So this is our monthly love letter to hopefully show you what we love and teach you maybe something new about the area, whether you are a local or you are thinking of moving to Winchester. Thank you, Bradley Reed, for our cover this month. This is outside of Hanley Library. First of all, the apple, we are known as the apple capital of the world. I'm not sure we actually are anymore, but we are still known for that. So you will see a lot of apple things all around town, including, of course, apple blossom, which is on the way in May. So what I want to tell you during all of these things are kind of some background information. So this is outside of Hanley Library, as I said, and you may not know that Hanley Library was actually created to look like a book when it was first built. So if you take a bird's eye view from the sky on Google Maps or anything like that, you will see the rotunda is in the middle. That is the spine of the book. And then the pages are laid out like that. Now there was an addition built at some point decades ago. I don't remember the exact year, so it kind of fills in that back of the book, but you can still see what the original thought was. This is a Beaux Arts building that is absolutely gorgeous. If you have not taken a tour of the Hanley Library, I would definitely get on that schedule because it is amazing. There is a well in the library. Wait until you see where that is. There are windows that go nowhere. There are staircases that go nowhere. There are glass floors. It is just absolutely gorgeous inside. So take that tour. Even if you're coming in from town for the day, just go in and explore. So first we have a little article story by Mike Robinson, who is basically a local historian, kind of celebrity now. He runs the Winchester Tales group on Facebook, tells a lot of stories, and we have his permission to share some of them. So this is about the Winchester Medical College and kind of some interesting stories that came about from there. So if you know anything about medical history, a lot of the information we have is from some bad things. People stealing bodies out of graves and other things. So this is definitely an interesting article which ties into the Harper Ferries raid. If you are a Civil War aficionado, you will know about that. So read this story and check out all of Mike Robinson's books, which you can buy locally. Of course, February is Black History everywhere, so we decided to cover some more Black history of Winchester. We have some information here on two amazing people and families. Robert Orrick, who still has his name on many things in Winchester, so you can read about his history, and the Brown family, which was just an incredible family who produced so many doctors. It's kind of insane. And then we have the Winchester Colored School, beginning the first colored school in Winchester, which is a stone church that you probably drive by all of the time if you are a local. So let's give you a little bit of background, but what I think you definitely need to do is get on your calendar for next year. Look for the Black History Trolley Tour put on by the Visitor Center because it is amazing. Typically, Terry Sloan is the driver. She is an incredible person in Winchester here, has a restaurant that we have featured before. And typically Miss Judy is narrating, and it's fabulous because Miss Judy grew up here. She knows all of the history. She is actually currently one of the historians that is writing down all of the Black history in Winchester so that we do not lose these stories. So hearing from her about the schools that she went to and everything was just incredible. So get that on your list if you have not done it before. When we sat down with Latasha with Sellout Theater, it was so incredible to hear her story of how she came to this project, but then also hear how she's just building this love of theater for our kids and teenagers and adults who there really wasn't an opportunity for them to participate in these things before this project was created. It did start in Front Royal, so you'll hear all about the history and how it has now moved to Winchester. They are looking for a new building. They have some fundraising needs, so this article outlines all of that. But what I love is how much she really uses the storytelling to connect and talk about things that are hard. So a couple of years ago, they had a play about Ruth's Tea Room, which is part of the Black history in Winchester. We now have a garden there. Unfortunately, the tea room was actually torn down several years ago, but she really uses the theater to tackle these things that are hard to talk about in such a unique and inviting and warm way. So I highly recommend checking out their productions. They have Vagina Monologues coming out starting very soon, I believe, and they have a couple of other things. They typically do about 8 shows a year, so definitely check them out. Walking into a room and meeting Frida Robertson for the first time was so incredible. She's just such a magnetic personality, and you can just see how much she absolutely loves her job and the impact she has. So she is the executive director of the Fremont Street Nursery, which began in 1943 as the Negro Daycare Center. Have you ever heard of a daycare center that has been literally in business for like 70 plus years? What are they, almost 80 years? Like, that is incredible, and the entire story is just so amazing. But we got to go in and like see the kids and interact with them in the classrooms and, you know, hear about the things that they're doing. They do gardening, they do so many things, but I just love the historical aspect of how this daycare started and who they were serving. So we always think of kind of, you know, women didn't really work outside of the home until the 60s, you know, maybe 50s a little bit. During the war, of course, they went and they took on the jobs that the men had been doing, but then they kind of got kicked out. But what we never really think about is that Black women have always worked, right? Had to take care of the Black women's children, right? And that's kind of how this daycare started. Then we got to sit down with Chris Mitchell, who is the host of the morning show at Q102, the country station here. And it's super fun interviewing someone who is used to being the interviewer. Of course, Chris can talk for days. That is literally his job. But his personality just comes out just so cute. And I loved hearing how he got his start in radio and how he ended up in Winchester when he had been in markets in, you know, big cities, and kind of what that change and transition was like. And now he's been here, I think, almost 25 years. So that's pretty good testament to Winchester, which is, I think, one of the reasons that we started this magazine, is all the people and how they have made this community. So hearing how Chris, you know, kind of incorporates all of that into his show and what he would like to see for the area was really incredible. If you ever get a chance to meet him in person, absolutely do it, but definitely listen to the morning show. I think you'll get a good idea of Winchester and everything that is going on in the area. So that was February's issue. I hope that you will sign up. It is free. It comes to your email every month on the 1st of the month. And then we do have printed copies that you can pick up in a lot of the Old Town stores and the visitor center. So we hope to see you around town. And if you have any real estate need, especially if you are thinking of moving to the area, I would love to answer any questions for you and help you on that move. And of course, don't forget to like us and follow us. And we are, of course, on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And we will see you in Old Town.